What we did was that we went through basic stuff about Finland in the first session, and now I'm going to go through all the practical things that you need to know. So those of you who came a bit later, you didn't miss anything that crucial for the practicalities of your studies here. But yeah, I'm Anna-Liisa Auramo, or Anski, and I've been sending you emails, and Irina has been sending you emails. And we're kind of switching, so I used to take care of technology here in Helsinki, and Irina will start doing that now, but I'm kind of helping her with the ConREM program. So basically she's your main person, but I'm also helping. So okay, so basically I'm going to go through Metropolia, our services here, your campus, student services, library, restaurants, IT, facilities, health matters, and registrations, and also discounts. Okay. So, what does Helsinki Metropolitan mean? This is an area which covers 4 cities: Helsinki, Vantaa, Espoo, and Kauniainen. So that's the Helsinki Metropolitan area. Basically, in practice, it means that when you travel inside of Helsinki, you only need the Helsinki ticket. If you travel within Helsinki, Espoo, and Kauniainen, you need like a regional ticket. So that's the biggest difference for you personally. Otherwise, Espoo and Vantaa, they all have their own centers, and they have been separate cities, but basically they have been merging to form this metropolitan area. And in this area, we have 20% of the whole population of Finland, which is 1 million. So there are not many Finns in the world, and 20% of us are here. We're a very small people. Metropolia. Metropolia is also a merging school. It has become one higher educational institution after many merges. So this is why Metropolia is spread all over the metropolitan area. I will later show you a slide of our 17 campuses. But basically, we have 4 fields: technology, healthcare, social services, culture, and business. Technology is by far the largest. We are the biggest educator of engineers in Finland, with our 8,100 students and 28 degree programs. So yeah, business is basically the smallest, culture the second smallest, and healthcare comes in the middle. So these are the campuses of Metropolia. So you can see it's a bit tricky at the moment. We are building 4 campuses. So Metropolia will be 4 campuses in about 2019. The biggest reason for that is, well, the logistics, and also these campuses in the center of Helsinki are super expensive. The rents are very high. So that's why Metropolia is going to move a bit further to the edge areas there and have only 4 campuses. So everything will be a bit easier. But now we're at number 1 over there, which is Boulevardi. And your campus is number 7. In Kallio. And Kallio is like a very cool area. I think I have a slide about that later, but Kallio is considered the very sort of heart of the youth culture right now in Helsinki. So you have a pretty nice campus. So yeah, Agrikolan Katu, your own campus. These are the sort of basic information you need to know. As Irina has already told you, we will send you all these slides, so you don't have to write all these things down. But basically, these are the opening hours of the cafeteria. You can get probably breakfast in the morning, coffee especially, and lunch is served between those times there. And there's also the phone of the porters. If you have any problems, you can call them, and they will help you with the premises. Oh yeah, there's a link to the Wikipedia page of Kallio. I'm sure you can also Google it, find it on your own. But yeah, basically Kallio has a lot of pubs. Basically, that's the most important thing for young people in Helsinki. Kallio is the place to go for a beer because they have a very unique mixture of very bars with a lot of personality and tiny ones and ones that serve beer very cheaply here in Helsinki. So people like to go to Kallio to have a nice beer basically. But they also have a lot of nice cultural things there. Okay. Boulevardi 29 and 31. You might have some lectures here as well. You are now in Boulevardi 31. Boulevardi 29 is the building opposite. If you came through the courtyard, the building opposite is Boulevardi 29. And these are also the basic information about Boulevardi here. Borders, opening hours of restaurant. And there's also a small gym in the building opposite, so in the basement. It's not very nice, but it's free, so you can check that out. You can also ask the porters to show you the gym if you can't find it on your own. Okay, in your schedule, I think Erik will probably give you a schedule because you have a very fixed set of classes you have to take. So that's why me and Irina are not talking to you about any scheduling because everything is sort of fixed for you and Erik will know about that. But basically what you need to know is the codes because your classrooms have codes. Like this is room P401. So P means the Boulevardi main building, 4 means the 4th floor and 1 means the classroom. And here we have it explained. The new chemistry, which is the building opposite, everything starts with a U there, so U401. And no, sorry, new chemistry. Old chemistry is the building opposite. Sorry, mixing them up myself. So yeah, it's kind of difficult sometimes with these codes. Basically, the letter stands for the building. That's the most important thing to know. And in Agrikolankatu, in your own campus, the room number starts with a G. So for example, on your program there for tomorrow, hello. I think he was a music student. Yes, tomorrow you will have a G2 something, I think. But basically the G there means that it's in Agrikolankatu. Oh yeah, I have it here. G201. So Agrikolankatu, floor 2 and room 1. But if Erik tells you today, because you're going to meet Erik later, so if Erik tells you to be there earlier tomorrow, then just listen to him, because he kind of likes to improvise sometimes. So basically this is the fixed schedule we have now, but if he tells you to be there earlier, then just do as he says. But basically this is the sort of frame we have for your program right now. Okay. We have these areas for students to hang out. They're called megoras. So they usually have bean bags or sofas and computers and soda machines and stuff like that. So you can hang out there, meet your friends, have some snacks, do your homework. The Agrikolankatu megora is a classroom, so it's on the 3rd floor and you can find it there. But many of the megoras are kind of in the common areas. For example, in Boulevardi, the main lobby is a megora. Student services. We are from the international office. We deal with student exchange. Basically, you can come to us with everything regarding your exchange and the practicalities of your exchange. Erik will be the person who knows about your courses. So we don't really have any idea about your actual courses, what you study. So if you send us emails about that, we will just forward them to Erik. But you can always ask us about practical things. If you have, like, I think you might have, some of you might have Erasmus support or something like that, Erasmus grants. We deal with all that sort of practical stuff that is not strictly related to your studies. Yeah, this is Irina's contact information. Like I said, she will be your main contact. She sits here in Boulevardi on most days, right? Do you still have days in Tukholman?
No, almost every
Yeah, so basically Irina is in this building, and your campus Agrikolan-katu is like maybe a 30-minute tram ride away. So it can be a bit frustrating, but Irina will be the closest international coordinator to you. And if there's like something major, she can also visit your campus. So if there's some, like if everyone needs to get a paper signed or something, then Irina can make an appointment, come to your campus to do that for you, so you don't all have to come here. So you can, like, flexible solutions like that are possible. So Student Affairs Office. All the papers I gave you in the envelopes are from the Student Affairs Office. So yes, all the information you find in the envelope is provided by the Student Affairs Office. So basically, if you lose any of those documents, you can always get new ones from the Student Affairs Office. They are open, well, the closest Student Affairs Office to you will be here on Boulevardi again. And they are open Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays and Fridays from 10 to 1 p.m. and Wednesdays from 1 to 5 p.m. So those are the opening hours. You can go there and get documents. And also we have these long distance travel documents you can get, because you can also get a 50% student discount for long distance travel. So you can get a form for that in the Student Affairs Office. We don't automatically give those out because you don't immediately need them on your first days, but they are available there and you can go get them. Okay, so yes, other things the Student Affairs Office deals with is basically the student register. So they take care of all the inputting your names there and all your course grade input and stuff like that. You can also order stuff electronically. I think it was here. If you need documents from them, you can order them electronically. Here's the link over there. For those of you who came just now, I am sending you all these slides, so you don't have to make any detailed notes. I am sending these all to you. And this is where we have links here, so you can just click. But basically, this is the link to the Student Affairs Office online service, so you don't even have to go there in person. You can just order stuff. Okay, we have 9 libraries and 3 partner libraries. Metropolia.fi/library is the place to find information on libraries. Yes, so yeah, you will all, in your envelopes you found your username and password for the Metropolia mainframe basically, so you can use those for Tubi. Okay, so student restaurants. The student meal is 260 euros, but you can only get the discount if you have the Kela card with you, the tiny yellow card. So please keep your Kela card with you every time you go for lunch. You should also sign the yellow card. It has a signature field, so you validate your Kela card by signing it. And basically, it's the equivalent of a student card in the student restaurant. Otherwise, I will talk to you about student cards a bit later. But in the student restaurants, you just put it on your tray and the cashier will see that you have your meal subsidy card and they will charge you for 260. You can also purchase lunch tickets if you want to avoid like hassle. You can get like a pack of lunch tickets and just give it to the cashier, and that's fine. There's usually, in many of the student restaurants, there's also an a la carte menu, which is a bit pricier, but usually tastier as well. And the meal subsidy cards are valid in all of Finland. So even if you travel to, for example, maybe Jyväskylä or Kuopio, and you find a student restaurant, you can always get the student meal for 260. Okay, so this is very important about the 260. In order to pay only 260, you are allowed to choose only one main menu item. It means that when the menu says there is today fish, and chicken and falafels, for example. You can only choose either fish or chicken or falafels. You cannot take 2 menu items. If you take 2 or more menu items, they will charge you extra. So only take 1 menu item unless you want to pay more. You can always pay more if you want, obviously. But in the 260 is included as much salad as you want, so you can take as much salad as you like. You can take as much bread and butter as you like. And you can take 1 glass of milk or juice and 1 glass of water. So water is always free. You can take as much water as you want. But yeah, only 1 glass of another beverage, basically. But yeah, everything else you can take as much as you want except the main menu item. So please remember, this is something that always happens when we go to the restaurant at lunch, and then people take more than 1 menu item, and then chaos ensues. So please remember when we go to have lunch. Okay, they are self-service restaurants, the student restaurants. Usually 2 to 4 different options. A more traditional option, for example, meatballs or fish. And there's usually a vegetarian option, soup and salad, stuff like this. After eating, you return the dishes to a dish trolley. So you just put the tray and the plate and in their own places. If you have allergies or a very specific diet, for example, if you have wheat allergy or milk allergy, then you can fill in a form at the cafeteria, tell them when you are eating, which allergies do you have, and then they can prepare a special meal for you. So that can all be arranged, just let them know in advance by filling in a form. IT services. So you got your usernames and passwords in your envelopes. This enables you to log into any workstation. For example, there are workstations behind you there, in the IT classrooms, in the Megoras, the student hangout places. So you can log into any of these. You can log into the Tuubi intranet that we have. You can use your email also at home using your browser. And basically electronic material of library services at home. So all the sort of services Metropolia provides for students are locked behind the Tuubi username. So please take good care of that. If you lose your password or something, then you can get a new one. I think it had instructions on the paper, but you can also contact help desk if you have really bad problems with a user ID. So here we have addresses. This activation address is also on your sheets there. Password renewal, help desk service request. So if you have some sort of very bad problem with your username or any of the sort of common, what are they called? Like online hard drives. If you have problems with those, the help desk can help you. And there's the general web page of the ICT here at Metropolia. Basically, turning it off and on again usually helps. This is what the IT guys always want us to remind you of. If turning it on and off again doesn't work, please read Tuubi for bulletins. Sometimes the Metropolia network has some sort of maintenance break or something has happened with the network, then they will post a bulletin about it in the intranet. But obviously if you have problems accessing the internet, then you might not get to Tuubi to read the bulletin, but anyway, they post bulletins there about problems. This is the help desk email, and also there's a help desk platform where you can report problems. So these are also good links to have. Okay, so opening hours of help desks, they kind of change and stuff. So I'm just giving you the link here to the webpage where they keep an updated schedule. So if you need to take some sort of device there or something, you can you can contact them during their opening hours. We have a help desk here on Boulevardi, and I think Agrikolan-katu also has one. So, IT classrooms. I don't know why it says classrooms. Basically, this is about the network hard drives. I think that's the right word, network hard drives. Everyone who has a Metropolia user ID has their own network hard drive called the Z drive. So whenever you're working in the Metropolia network, you can save your things on the Z drive. And then when you access Metropolia network from another place, from another computer in Metropolia, or through the secure desktop service in our internet, you can access your file there on the Z drive. There's also the C temp for temporary space, but I don't think a lot of people even use that because it's for public use. So if you save anything in the temp, it's for public use. Okay, do's and don'ts. Do use workstations freely in classrooms. You use the university Wi-Fi. We have our own Wi-Fi for Metropolia students, and we also have the EduRoam. So if some of you are familiar with EduRoam, it's like an international Wi-Fi for students. We also have that here. Ask help from teachers and tutors, visit local help desk, read manuals. They actually have a very good set of manuals in the IT web pages, so those are worth checking out. For example, when I got my work phone, I checked there how I can connect my email to my mail app and stuff like that. So they have very detailed, good instructions there. Don't mess with the workstations. Don't break IT policies. Don't ever give your user ID or password to anyone. Don't touch your workstations with maintenance note on it. Don't install your own applications, and don't connect your personal laptop to the university network cable. Basically, the problems with connecting your own personal laptop, giving your password and user ID, they're not just problems of your own, like basically if you're, well, I don't have anything important there, it doesn't really matter. It's not about that, it's about Metropolia information leaking. So basically, if there's a leak, it can cause very serious problems for all of Metropolia. I think once we had some sort of leak when some of our emails got somehow blocked in our partner institutions. So for example, HTW Berlin didn't receive any of our emails because of this leak had happened, and the Metropolia emails had been declared dangerous and stuff like that. So these are the reasons why you shouldn't connect. So it's not just about your own information, it's about Metropolia information as well. Okay, facilities. We have multifunction printers and black and white printers that you can freely use. You have to have a copy card and some money on the copy card for printing and copying, but you can scan for free. So the scanning is really simple and easy. You just put the thing there, and then you have your, maybe you have a key access card. Probably you don't need access cards in Agrikolan-katu. Well, anyway, you can also use your HSL card with the multifunction printers, because you can connect your ID to your HSL card, the travel card in Helsinki, I mean. And then you can use the printer with your travel card, and everything will get printed into your email account. No, scanned into your email account. So it's really, really handy and easy. Yeah. Scanning is free. These multifunction printers are available in all of Metropolia's campuses. So you will have some in Agrikolan-katu, and we have some here in Boulevardi. More information about the multifunction printers can be found under this link here. Okay, parking and smoking. We have very restricted smoking areas in Metropolia, so you will have to find a place marked for smoking. Because usually it's places that are not allowed to smoke, it's marked non-smoking area. but we have smoking areas, so you have to find a specific area for smoking if you need to smoke. And parking, I guess none of you really have cars here, but parking is also only allowed in marked areas. And safety precautions: if you hear the fire alarm, please go immediately out of the building and into the assembly area, meeting place. That's usually the parking area of the building. And stay in the meeting place until the firemen or the safety, because every campus has a designated safety chief. So either the fireman or the safety chief can give you permission to go back inside. If you notice anything that's worrying, you should contact the porters or a member of Metropolia staff. So, for example, if someone is acting in a very suspicious way, you're thinking they might be up to something weird, then just contact the porters or a teacher or anyone. We also have a safety guide in Tuubi in our intranet, and you can browse through that. Sporting activities. The student union here, Metka, is responsible for organizing sporting activities. There's the link to the Metka sports webpage here. They have very many different classes like dance, aerobics. So you can just go on their webpage and check which kind of lessons or group sessions they have for sports. And basically you only need to pay for the student fee, which was I think about 30 euros per semester or something like that. But the prices are all on the Metka webpage, and for the fee you pay you can go to all the lessons, all the sports classes they have. At Metropolia we have public health nurses, we have counseling psychologists, and we have student well-being advisors. So if you're feeling that you have some sort of personal problem, you can turn to these three kinds of people here to help you. For example, last year we had some students had issues with the darkness of Finland in the winter, because it's dark for such a long time during the day even. So some people, some ConREM students actually felt a little bit depressed about that. So they contacted the well-being advisors and they got help from there. So please do use these services if you feel like you have anything on your mind that you need to discuss with somebody. Healthcare in Finland. Basically different regulations for EU and non-EU people. You can access public health care if you have the European health insurance card. So basically if you are an EU citizen, you can order this European health insurance card, and then you can access the public health care and pay the same fees that Finns would pay when they go to the doctor. But obviously you can also use the private health care, which is quicker and no queues, but it costs money. Students that are non-EU students, unfortunately, usually have to turn to private healthcare. Basically, well, when you got your residence permits, you all got your health insurance checked, so you should be covered. But you cannot use the public healthcare unless you have an emergency. So if something happens to you, you need to get medical attention now, then you can go to your nearest public healthcare service point. But otherwise, non-EU students will have to use the private healthcare, unfortunately. Well, the emergency number in Finland is 112, just like Irina's room number, by the way. Irina's office here is P112, so that's easy to remember. During the daytime, emergency healthcare is provided by the closest healthcare station. In the evenings, in Helsinki, the Hartman and Maria hospitals provide emergency care. And emergency dental care is basically you have to call these numbers to get more instructions on that. I think the dental care units switch which one of them have to be on call basically for emergency care. This is a good general health service number. You can call if you have a health problem and you don't really know what to do. You can call this number anytime. They give you instructions whether you should go to the doctor, which doctor you should go to, if you only need to see a nurse, all kinds of information. So if you're just like, if you have some sort of problem and you're not sure, then just call this number. This is very handy. And if you have a mental health problem, if you have something horrible happens, or you have an acute case of some sort of depression or something, then you can call this mental health assistant unit for foreigners. So this is like a conversational helpline in cases of mental health problems. Pharmacies. In Finnish, pharmacy is apteekki. Here's a good link, e-apteekki.fi, e-apteekki.fi. You can find your nearest pharmacy there. Foreign prescriptions are accepted only in emergencies again. So if you have a prescription, you have to renew it in Finland. And basically there's one 24/7 pharmacy in Helsinki. It's on Mannerheimintie. Mannerheimintie is like, if you've been to the center, Mannerheimintie is like the huge road that basically goes between Kamppi and Rautatientori. So on that road, there's a 24/7 pharmacy. Okay, if you travel outside of Finland, please check if your insurance covers it. Your visa requirements are in order, and vaccination recommendations are in order. Okay, then registrations. Basically, students coming from outside the EU have already applied for their residence permits, so they should be all checked. They don't have to register anywhere anymore. When you have your residence permit, you're all good to go. But EU citizens, you should register within 3 months of your arrival at the immigration police or your municipality at the immigration police of your municipality. So if you have an apartment in Espoo, you should register at Espoo. If you have an apartment in Vantaa, you should register at Vantaa, and same for Helsinki. So basically you just have to go there, and you can also reserve a time beforehand and then do the registration like that. Okay, I'm extremely sorry. Can you? I'm.
Yeah, Anski is moving, nothing to worry about, in her real apartment to another. So that's why the moving company is calling her. So, yeah, so that's why. So, but I will continue on that. So, yes, it's required for EU citizens to register here in Finland. And you might even get a Finnish number, like a identity number. It's possible as well if you register, but do that please as soon as possible. So for all of you who are EU citizens, and you probably have as well your European health insurance card. This is valid in here as well. So if you get sick or anything, you will get same discount and same health services as Finnish citizens as well. And the registration is fee for registering at the police station is 50 euros for you. So, and some places where you do the registration, there is basically the addresses and where you have to go where. So if you live in Helsinki, it's in Helsinki, and if you live in Espoo, it's in Espoo, and for Vantaa students, it's in Vantaa, according to the places where you live. So are you all living in which areas? In Helsinki, Vantaa, Espoo? Okay, so you will you will have every services here in Helsinki then. Yeah. And you can check the link and you can reserve time in there for the registration. So it's really easy. Okay, and some information about student discounts. As Anski already mentioned to you, you will get with the yellow card, you will get discounts from the restaurants. But additionally, you have in your envelopes some other cards that you will get discounts as well. As some of you already asked, we do not issue any student cards. So all the documents that you get are actually already here in your envelopes. So the yellow card for the lunches, and then you have the travel document in there, and study certificate in there as well. So those are all that you need. And if you go to any places where you need some documents, you will have to use your own official documents. By that I mean like a passport or some ID with a photo. Photo is really needed. If you go to a bank to open bank account, you would need to have a passport. Or if you go to HSL place to get a travel card, you would need to have most likely your passport or ID with a photo. That's why you don't really need a student card, because your official passport is your official ID here in Finland. Okay? And yes, you have a lot of documents. So there's different card for different discounts. For lunches there's one, for traveling there is another, and it's possible for you to get a distant travel card as well. It's another document, but you don't get it automatically. So, and you have the study certificate, what was mentioned. There is a time period of your stay in here, and there is your student number, I think, and some other important information. So please take good care of it. But if you lose it, you will get it again from the student office. So nothing is really like unrepairable. So you will get all these documents again if you lose them. And some other information about this traveling and long and short distances. So actually HSL card and the document for HSL is for short distances. So traveling within Helsinki area, so different regions. But if you want to travel to cities in surrounding areas, by that I mean like Turku or Tampere or to Lapland, then you would need another paper document. You can get it also from the student office. They will make it for you and fill it out some information, and you will have to fill out the rest. And with that document you will get another card for distant trains or buses. And with that card you can actually get 50% off of traveling prices. So it's students have really good benefits here in Finland. And here, this is really confusing, but and you don't have to know that. It's actually visible in every stations. So those are the trains traveling in Helsinki area. So HSL travel card, you will, I think, do registration for it later on with Erik. He will take you there. So this is a small green card that is used in all the traveling in here Helsinki metropolitan area, and you have to click yourself in when you go to buses or metros or trams. If you have there is different prices for different traveling methods. So as I said in here, and also if you go to the Suomenlinna, to the fortress, you will go with this HSL card there as well, which is really convenient. You don't have to buy any separate ticket for that. So there's a student discount for students under 30 years old. I don't know, how many are you under 30 years old? Okay, yeah, but there's still some other discounts, but you can discuss at the HSL station which card they would suggest you to get. So it's personal. I think you should all get the best solution for yourselves. But there's different traveling cards. And if you lose the green card, you can get another one, but you will have to pay for the new card, I think, again. So there's different tickets for different travelings. If you travel within Helsinki, you would need only one city ticket, and that's the cheapest ticket. I think the price is approximately 3.5 euros. So if you want to travel from your Agrikolan-katu campus here to Boulevardi, it would cost you approximately 3.5 euros without discount, but with student discount that would be around €1. So it's much cheaper. And if you travel to Espoo, that's almost like a double price. So depending where you're traveling, the prices are depending on that. You can get actually from HSL point of registration, you can get a booklet with all the pricings. So I suggest you warmly to have it, and then you can check all the pricings, then you won't get surprised. And you can check all the pricings in advance. But if you don't have the card, you probably have noticed that you can buy a ticket from the driver. That you can do in almost any places where you go. So like a trams, you can buy a ticket from there, from the driver, and as well from the bus driver and train driver. In the metro, I think you will have to buy actually from machine the ticket. That you cannot get from the driver. And you should always have a ticket with you, because if there's a conductor checking tickets, the fine is huge. It's like 80 euros. So you should have a ticket with you. And they appear really suddenly, so you never know when they are coming. Especially when you are in metro and you have ticket. That haven't happened to me once in a bus, because I had a wrong ticket, and they fined for that as well. That's actually not fair at all, because I'm not local person. So when I first moved to Helsinki, I bought a wrong ticket, and I was sitting in the bus, and then there came a conductor taking the tickets. I was happy, yes, I have a ticket, and then I gave it to him, and he said, sorry, that's a wrong ticket, that's a regional ticket, but you need a multi-regional ticket, because I was traveling from Espoo to Helsinki. So I got a fine of 80 euros. That wasn't fair, but no can do, so be aware of that. That might happen, but it's not nice. Yeah, and we also have a really good journey planner. You might also have some apps on your cell phones, and they probably work here as well. But if you don't have a journey travel app, then you can go to webpage of HSL, reittiopas.fi, and you can put the address where you are and the address where you are heading. And it gives you different ways of transportation that you can get to different locations. Quite convenient.